Well, this is Long War of the Chosen, Beta 3. Huge mod for Xcom 2 that incorporates the War of the Chosen expansion into the game. I've been playing around with this mod quite a bit ever since the sort of coronavirus shutdown kicked in the United States back in March. And it is quite the investment if you want to get into this game and learn all of its mechanics. I am still learning things, and I have put in well over 100 hours to this mod. But I did complete a campaign successfully on veteran difficulty. So my hope is that after what I've learned, veteran started to get probably too easy toward the end of that campaign. I'm hoping that I have now advanced enough in knowledge that I can at least take a shot at doing the game on Commander with Ironman enabled. I'm not going to assume that the people watching this will know everything there is to know about Long War 2 or Long War of the Chosen, but I am going to assume that you are familiar at some level with this game. It would be very strange if you were checking out this mod and my playthrough of it if you knew nothing about the original game. The Cliff Note version is, aliens took over the world. You're commander of a tactical group a tactical sort of militia group known as Xcom that's trying to take the world back. What are their I'm curious what their descriptions are for these. Appropriate for new players new to tactical games or Xcom in general. Challenge appropriate for players familiar with Xcom. That's probably an understatement of how difficult, like veteran difficulty is probably equivalent to, or even slightly harder than, legendary difficulty in the vanilla game. So Commander is a level above that, and it's a pretty big jump from what I've looked at. There's a big spreadsheet they've got on the wiki that lays out the differences between all the difficulty levels, and Commander and Legendary, there doesn't seem to be a huge gap between them, except for higher intel costs to make contact with the regions on Legend. Enemies have like an additional 1 or 2 hit points, a couple other small changes, but a lot of the big macro level changes, the gap is between Veteran and Commander. I'm not going to go into every single detail, but when those things come up, when I'm playing through the campaign, I may mention them. Sure, we got everything. So yeah, we got the Chosen enabled, we've got resistance orders, we've got being able to select the same class abilities, the same rank. And that's, I think, all I want. I am starting with the Reaper because I consider it to be the canon start for XCOM. My favorite start is actually the Templar, if you're just looking for, because they're really good in combat in the early game. Their ability to do almost guaranteed damage. In the base game, it's essentially guaranteed damage. But in this game, rend attacks can actually miss or graze. But in general, there's still a really reliable way to do 4 or 5 points of damage to all these 4 HP enemies that you see at the beginning of the game. The only problem I have with playing on Ironman in this mod is that I have already had numerous instances where I have lost soldiers due to what I can only perceive to be as bugs. Viper tongue pull that pulls you through multiple objects in the environment and destroys those objects, and then leaves you and the Viper just standing out in the open and all the enemies shooting your character. It's like that. The tongue pull didn't work that way as far as I know in the base game. The Vipers couldn't tongue pull you through solid objects. I don't think that's how the game is intended to work. I've seen some other weird things that I don't fully understand. But whatever. We'll just see how it goes. Even if this campaign is a complete disaster.
But I don't know for how long.
I'm going to skip the cutscenes in this that are story related. Again, I'm assuming you know broadly what the game's storyline is. If you want to watch those cutscenes, there are YouTube videos where people have literally just compiled all the cutscenes from the entire game into one continuous video. But the thing about Long War of the Chosen that I did learn is, even in a campaign that I ultimately failed, the failure did not come until almost the end of the year in which the game starts. So we start March 1st, and I don't think that the failure in the campaign came until beginning of December, very, very end of November. I don't remember exactly. But it was a long time before we actually lost the campaign. But it was also pretty apparent for about 3 months that we were doing worse, not better. We were getting closer to defeat, not closer to victory. We were starting to lose more of the tactical missions. Casualties, both wounds and deaths on missions, were becoming more common. Now, this is the first mission in Long War of the Chosen. It's always ambushing a troop column. This one's actually in a city center. Usually I get the tunnels or the sewers. So it's an untimed mission. You have to find the troops that are out here, take them down, and take any resources they may have.
I am at your service.
That's a start. We've already found one of the pods right away. And they're kind of isolated.
Creepy. Where'd they all go?
I see.
Are you sure? Copy that.
Alright, now can we bring anybody? Let's see. Yeah, there is a rooftop there that we can take advantage of. Let's have a couple people over there to prep for that. Normally I have to roam around for a few minutes before I find anybody. So this is kind of different. Of course, now they're going to it would have been nice if they kind of went off to the right or sort of loitered.
My life is in your hands.
Gotta be a little bit careful here, though. We don't want to get caught off guard and have a double activation. So right now, this is the far right side of the map, so no enemies are coming from there. But there could be enemies to the far left, and there could be enemies back behind them. What we want to do on this mission, as far as I can tell, it's always the same. It's a pod of 4 that is like this: an officer, a drone, 2 troopers. Then there's another pod of 4 with a gunner, sentry, engineer, and trooper, I think. And then there's a sectoid and a trooper as a tiny little pod of 2. So the ideal scenario for us would be isolate this pod, don't alert any of the others, and then work our way around the map to get into an advantageous position to deal with them. But that is easier said than done, because I have a knack for accidentally breaking stealth in this game and ruining any ambush setup I might have been designing. It's a talent that I wouldn't recommend cultivating. Now, it is conceivable that they will come all the way around and see her.
I'll wait here.
But if they did, that wouldn't be the end of the world, because unlike the vanilla game, if enemies detect you out in the open, like exposed, on Overwatch, in Long War, they don't have any chance of just immediately blowing away your character. They won't do that. That was a behavior that I think Beagle Rush exploited a lot in early versions of Xcom 2, and they actually wound up patching it out later on. They changed the AI behavior so that sometimes, instead of trying to run when they detect you and that you're exposed in that situation, they will just shoot you, which makes sense. Better strategy.
Moving out.
Now, are these guys just going to keep wandering this way?
I will go.
There are so many buildings here. Whoa, let's not do that. I'm a bit wary of what else is out here. I mean, I could engage them, obviously, but then they would just scatter into various cover spots and become harder to deal with.
Ready when you are.
We want to deal with these guys in one fell swoop and take them all out in one turn.
These guys make up the bulk
What
of
was
the
going on
operation.
there with that trooper?
They're disciplined and well equipped, but their obedience makes them predictable.
Okay, so once again we've got the traditional gatecrasher problem, which is every single enemy seems to be congregating
I'm trusting you.
similar area. So we have all these enemies here, and then all these enemies back behind them. Now, this is blocking line of sight right now, but if we engage this group, this other group would obviously see us. It's not going to work.
Volk says I am to obey.
Here goes.
And there now.
Interesting.
I'm on the move.
Apparently these moves don't reveal. Maybe like the one person, Adam, who is not in great
Roger
position.
Roger. I've got my eyes on. Ready as I'll ever be, Commander.
Yes, come back this way. That's good for us. What about that other group of soldiers? What are they going to do? No! No! Did we just see the last pod in the level moving back here? Is that what we just saw in that like kind of background?
Moving out.
Oh my goodness, every single enemy is in the same area. What the hell?
Structure now includes human DNA. They are stronger than ever, with an even greater
Still
psionic
move you, still move you. Do I even want to move? I mean, if this breaks out, we would at least start with 7 Overwatch shots. I mean, it's not ideal, I guess, but it's not gonna be ideal. If they're all gonna cluster together like that.
I go where you tell me.
Just chill there. So, and nobody's likely to be seen just yet.
I'm ready.
Moving to Overwatch.
That drone worries me. Ooh, that's good for us. Oh, well, it was, except for that sentry standing there. But that is objectively good. They're going further away. Alright, I'm going to stay on Overwatch with everybody. What we're going to hope is that
Got it covered.
they don't see anybody just yet. Oh, well, that dream is over.
I should have seen it coming.
Game over, man.
Hit. Okay, officer's down. First hit.
Barely a hit. Look out.
Here's the problem, we only took out 2 of them. Now we have another pod active. Oh! Oh, that's awesome. Okay. That went way better than I would have expected. They ran off the other way, like the wrong direction. So, with a trooper and a gunner, I don't like that gunner back there. That's not good. Who else is there? There's a trooper here who's easily defeatable. Trooper. We also got to deal with that drone. So the best strat for you is going to be to just drop here, where line of sight between the other enemies is obscured, and finish you off. Thanks for not missing that 90. Happens more often with these rookies than you think. Now, I really don't want anybody being shot at by the gunner, so I'd be inclined to move her to like right here, if I could. Now, Jensen can just take a 73, but that's probably not a good move. It's tough. I really wish you could move one tile further back. Now, the thing about the AI in this game I've learned in Long War is they are absolutely masters of finding really bizarre line of sight paths. So, I was thinking about moving Toph inside the store here, because you'd think it'd be blocked. And I'm just wondering, like, is there some kind of weird shot that the gunner could take from, like, right here that somehow, like, you know, goes through this trajectory and somehow sees her? But I don't see any way that's possible because of these washing machines.
I guess that'll be okay.
We're gonna grenade this thing. Now it's more killable. I don't really want to give those guys actions, but we may not have a choice. I mean, I would like to flashbang them, but even a disoriented flashbang desperation shot has a decent chance to hit. That's a good place for you to go.
On my way.
The next turn, you can peek out back to here and see what the enemy is doing. Jensen, I think we're going to go for the kill shot on the drone with you. We do not want to grenade that drone again, because it's got a loot drop, and that's what that little gold symbol means. So we want to try to gun it down. That's not what, not what we need. Okay. Trooper can probably get a flank on me if I'm here, but I don't know if I'm even in range of him. He's pretty, like, can I even see him? Can he even see me from here? Like, I can't see him from even here. So he would have to move up some, probably to here, and that's not going to be a flank shot. I'm willing to roll the dice on that for a 94. That'll do. Alright, and then you all need to move up. So that doesn't... You don't see anything, right?
Right.
Perfect. And I want to get eyes on that sectoid.
I will be position.
Sectoid trooper tandem. Where are they? Way back there. Okay. Well, I hope they keep running away.
Reapers are always vigilant.
You're not going to shoot anything from this position, so just take a reload. Same with you.
Ready to engage.
Done.
Yep, Trooper moved to the predictable spot. The gunner double moved. Crap, why did they have to move up? Also, I do notice, so we can't really go after them without alerting enemies, but I mean, really gonna leave that gunner just hanging out there? Hold on. Hold on. Other options I've not considered here. How far can you flashbang? Not far enough. You don't have a grenade. So the gunner is not flanked back here. He's kind of an uncomfortable. So here's what we're gonna do with the sectoid. We're gonna. Oh yeah.
Identity trap.
We're gonna go ahead and do a preemptive strike on these. What? What? You've got to be kidding me. Are you serious? That pillar is blocking my line of sight. That is the worst thing that could possibly happen. So wait a minute. You're telling me that Joanna can throw the claymore on a tile that she cannot see, and then I can't shoot it? That plan is ruined, and the claymore is wasted. Hello. Let's just get a double flashbang back here. No, of course we can't. That'd be too convenient. All these moves activate, which is very inconvenient. There we are.
Yep. Oh, shit.
I mean, I can grenade him, but I am not. I really don't want to destroy the sectoid corpse. Corpses in this game are just too rare. Wow, we are really struggling to hit this guy.
Here I go.
Usually those coin flips don't work out quite so conveniently, but I'm not going to complain. I am overdue for positive karma in this game.
My turn on watch.
Alright, so it's just a flashbang trooper. Pin him down.
That you need me to do.
And
Rolling out.
so that's unfortunate that we didn't get that loot. It looks like... Oh, they made a big mistake here. They didn't move. Which means if I can find a spot... There has to be a spot where I can see that claymore. Like, why won't the game tell me that? The claymore's right there. I have to have line of sight on it
As
here,
ordered.
right? Yes. But the game wouldn't tell me that. The site preview didn't include it. I really wish you could just run up and shoot this guy, but that leaves you flanked, doesn't it? By the sectoid.
Let's move already.
60, it's only a 25. Hold on.
You want some more?
Now, one really ballsy option would be to take that half cover and then shoot at the trooper, who we would have flanked ourselves to. I think I am going to do.
No problem. Let me take that off.
Oh, I thought I would be able to get to that van, but I can't. It's only a 33, but let's take it. Yeah, let's just flashbang him again. Again, don't want to blow him up because I don't want to lose the loot or that corpse. Still got Jensen here. It's only got a 22 though, which is just awful. Oh, now it's 25. Great. So I think what we want to do is try to induce him to run by pulling back behind him, maybe. But if we go here, oh, but that only gives me a flank on the sector, but not on this guy. So yeah, trickier than I thought. Plus the sectoid can run up to that window and shoot me if I go there. Go right there. I do like this move.
Okay, I'll go. Come get some.
Let's see how I gotta handle this.
We might need this.
Not well.
Check it
Not
before
well.
you get too close.
Alright, this is going to be a flawless gatecrasher.
No time to
Does not always go that way. We got a Miriam core, that's nice. Alright, got a couple of people who could run up and finish this guy off. Let's see.
Come on.
Let's just, yeah, Natalia, you can have this shot.
down.
Look at all the bodies right there.
Information.
That little pillar was just a death zone.
Mission accomplished.
That would be perfectly fine if Alec wasn't holding tank at gunpoint. Let's get the. I'm definitely not going to. No. Oh. Oh, that was it. There we go. I'm definitely not going to take a photo for every mission. But if it's a flawless mission, they probably deserve something to commemorate that achievement. There aren't going to be that many flawless missions in the game, I assure you.
Advent officials revealed today's maneuver by local peacekeepers was a planned exercise. Citizens should not be alarmed. All weapon fire and wounds were simulated to better train Advent forces.
90% successful shot percentage on a mission with 7 rookies and a squatty reaper is quite good.
Morale is sure to be high after an operation like that. Great work, Commander.
Alright, we'll deal with these promotions in the barracks. Expanded magazine, Illyrium core laser sight. 2 drone wrecks. Normally, this is interesting. Normally, there are 7. You come out of here with 7 trooper corpses, 1 drone wreck, 1 secondary corpse, 1 officer corpse. But here, there were actually 2 drones. I didn't realize there could actually be variants on that mission. Alright, let's knock out some of these cutscenes. Yeah. Council, you make contact with the resistance, blah blah blah. Yeah, your research, you want scientists, whatever, just get me some communications going.
Commander.
This is the bridge, I want to get the Reaper scene. Here we go.
We may have chosen a different means of resistance, but our people fight for the same reason, for the world we once knew. Together we will end this occupation, or die trying. My people have thrown off the shackles of alien oppression.
Recruiting centers and
We
scavengers.
have survived.
Recruiting centers is not great. Scavengers can be good.
Okay. Rework.
Alright, what are we looking at? So, I've experimented with a few opening strategies in this game. I think the Resistance Ring, with the changes they've made in Long War of the Chosen, is not nearly as good as it was in the vanilla game. The chances of covert operations to fail and to result in wounds to soldiers is much higher. I don't even think it was possible for covert operations to fail in the previous game. I think that the only consequences of those operations would be a wound, an ambush, soldier gets wounded, your team gets ambushed, or one of your soldiers gets captured. I don't think it was actually possible for the covert operations to fail, but in Long War it totally is. The training center is a sort of month 3, maybe month 2, I don't know. It's not you're not going to want to open with that. Lab only has value once you have scientists, so we at least need to see a mission where we can get a scientist before we think about building that. Power relay we don't need yet. Infirmary, we don't have any wounded soldiers, so that wouldn't be helping us immediately anyway. This is a good investment long term for this though, because you just gotta reduce wound healing time as best you can. Now the guerrilla tactics school, I'm pretty confident what 95% of people who play this game seriously open with, and I'm no different. It gives you the opportunity to train up squaddies, turn rookies into squaddies.
Commander to the
You need that. Alright, now on that note, we got a lot of bonds going on here. Oh, this is interesting. We have 5 rookies down here with 55 to 58 aim. That is bad. But we also have several rookies with 75 aim? 3 rookies with 75? So if you don't know how this works, rookie aim could be anywhere from 55 to 75. Their HP could be anywhere from 3 to 7. Movement could be 13 to 17. I don't know what the dodge range is. The highest I've ever seen is plus 19. Joanna has minus 10, but she's a stealth unit, so she's unlikely to be shot at. If you're using her properly, she's unlikely to be shot at. She's got 11 hack, so it'd be great if she wound up being a specialist. Kodo has 11 hack. That's not bad. She could be a specialist as well. But for these random rolls, we really just have to see where people wind up. So, Toph, you're up first. Toph is our assault. Only 14 mobility on the assault is not great. But 7 dodge and 8 defense is pretty good. That'll be helpful. 4 HP is also not great on the assault. You know what I got with you. You are going to be apparently a sniper. 77 aim's pretty good for a squaddy level sniper. Oh, you've got deep cover. Isn't there a perk that would sync with that? Do snipers have the aim perk? Where like if you hunker down it increases your aim, or not? Would appear not. Okay, so that's good. What's your movement? Mobility 14, it's a little below average. Alright, well, not a bad roll on that. Let's see. Jensen, 57 aim. What are we rolling with here? Oh, of course you'd be a gunner. Great, a gunner who's never going to hit anything. Oh, interesting, but you have flesh. You can also learn Ever Vigilant, which is interesting. But again, you have terrible aim, so I don't know how valuable that is. So we're definitely going to want to get this when it becomes available, because that means he can run and melee enemies with his knife, and anything that prevents him from having to actually shoot enemies is probably good. Yeah, gosh, 60 aim on a gunner. Not great. Let's check our other low. Okay, Grenadier. Grenadier with 59 aim is much more manageable, because Grenadiers are mainly going to use grenades. Now this is interesting. I've never seen a Grenadier with Phantom as an available option. So we could actually use him. He has Field Medic too. It's weird. So we could actually use him as a scout if we wanted to. Precision shot. Kind of wasted. Person with 59 aim. Okay. Three left. So what do we have left? We've had an Assault, Sharpshooter, Gunner, Grenadier. So we've still got the Technical class, Shinobi, Specialist, and ranger. They're their specialist. C2 aim, 41 hack on a specialist is not good. But it's what we got. So Ranger, Technical, and Shinobi are left. You wound up being our Technical. Okay. That's not bad stats for a Technical. Although your dodge and defense leave a lot to be desired. Alright, are you going to be a Shinobi or a Ranger? With 73 aim, I would really hope you're a Ranger. Oh man, that's actually... Yeah, would it be bad if she wound up being a Shinobi? No, not necessarily, now that I think about it. She is a Shinobi, okay. Because even though it's weird to have a Shinobi with 75 aim, there's one benefit to this that I only figured out kind of late in the game. Shinobis, their aim affects the accuracy of their melee attacks, including flesh, which we want that. If you're in a position where you need to use this, so for example, a sectoid's mind-controlled one of your soldiers and you need to run halfway across the map to cut him up, you don't want that attack to miss. And I have had that happen enough times to say it ain't fun. So you've got ever vigilant on this area too, and resilience. Resilience would be great. That'd be a good one to have for a scout, so that if you get exposed, you're less likely to be gunned down. Yeah, ever vigilant is interesting. That combined with the high aim makes me wonder if it would actually be worth having you be a scout who uses a rifle, so that if concealment is ever broken on you, you would still be combat effective. But of course, not having an SMG and having reduced movement means you wouldn't be able to run as far to take advantage of this. I'll have to mull that over. It's kind of cool though that Kasumi got to be a Shinobi. That's very fitting if you're familiar with this Mass Effect character and her background. Quite fitting. So the next person that we rank up will be a Ranger. So who would we want to be our Ranger? It's going to be somebody with high aim. Oh, Jill. Probably Jill. 5 HP is good. 14, that could be better. But 74 aim is just fantastic. And I don't really want someone... I mean, 314 and 10 looks more like a specialist build, like a sentinel specialist maybe, with that much aim. John Wick just looks like a sniper. Although he has 19 dodge, or 18 dodge. That's interesting. Maybe he's a snapshot sniper? Well, it doesn't matter at this point. That's all we can do. We can look at the bonds, though. I should have looked at that while we were here. Take a peek. Yeah, I'm aware. So you have a 9.6 with Joanna. Her technical. Who's the Shinobi bond with? Who's Kasumi bond with? Sharpshooter. Huh. It's really not great, though. If her Sharpshooter is isolated far away from the Shinobi, that's not going to be helpful. I'll mull that over. But that still might be what we want to do. Because if they both have line of sight on the same enemy, after bond level 2, I believe they get an aim bonus, and that would be very helpful. Sharpshooter. What about Joanna? Joanna literally has one person that she has good compatibility with in this entire group. So, let's take that for now. Now, we got to generate some missions. So we've already got our 6 people here on Intel, which is good. We're going to basically scan for 4 days, and then go to the black market and scan to unlock that. We already got a mission. Engineer already, and it's an 11-day timer? That is ludicrous. I've never seen a timer that generous this early in the game. We're obviously going to do that. 11-day timer. So I have to, now we have to make a decision on like how many people do we actually send on this mission. Because with 11 days I could send a full squad of 8. They'd be infiltrating for a long time. But that means that every, we could potentially send like, it's a revealed start, so we would want to scout. So maybe we send Joanna and Natalia and then 6 rookies. Because we could get a lot of promotions here. Round out our team a little bit. We're not going to need to hack anything, so there's no need to bring Alec. We could leave these 6 to go on their own mission, and then just take a boatload of rookies on this, and get people promoted. So I do want to earmark, Burns has 18 mobility? I didn't even know it was possible to have 18 mobility as a rookie. I mean, we gotta save him to be a shinobi, don't we? I mean, 55 aim's not great, obviously, on anybody, including a shinobi, but that's at 18 mobility. It's awfully good. Klaus Schaffer, 58 aim, 465. Well, actually, the next person we upgrade is going to be... Where are they going to be? They're going to be a ranger. So we need somebody in here. Didn't I say Jill? Jill's going to be our high aim person. We want Jill to get promotion. We're going to put you on here. There's always seems like there's always a rando. I always have it. There's always one random person. Yeah, why does that happen? Why is it that if I change your armor, you completely change your appearance? You lose your glasses, you get a new hairstyle, your face even looks a little bit different? Well, whatever, we're gonna straighten this out a little bit. Let's do 3, I guess. Change this to something a little more understated. And God, get you a different hairstyle. Sure, whatever, man. Klaus. Watch him be like one of my best soldiers. Who else are we upgrading? Baker, 416, 57, 15 dodge. That looks like a good assault build with that dodge. .315, 72 dodge. A lot of high. I mean, I'm not used to seeing. Normally, there are a bunch of rookies that you're just like, yeah, they can be whatever. Here, these rookies that are in the 70s, I'm a little bit hesitant to use them because it's like, well, it would really be a shame if, like, Sheva wound up being a grenadier with, that much aim. I mean, 315, -7 dodge, 75 aim looks like a sniper to me. We'll bring slowly. Okay. This is the first time I've ever been able to use a squad of 8 on an early game mission like this. Now, they're going to be infiltrating a long time, so we're going to have a lot of soldiers locked up here. But we're getting an engineer out of the deal, and all these soldiers will potentially get promotions. Let's get a few med kits floating around here in case there are wounds. A lot of soldiers with 5 HP too. I'm used to rolling around with rookies that have 3 hit points. Not a fun time. So I'm giving Natalia the SMG so that she can run faster, or further I should say, and get into flamethrower range. Okay, it's 4 med kits, it should be plenty. With this many people, we should be able to win this mission pretty easily when it comes up. Even though they're rookies, this should be quite manageable. So if you're not familiar with the Long War system, you'll notice that there's an infiltration timer, and it's got a percentage you can expect to infiltrate. Normally, you can only get 5 or 6 people on a mission. Being able to actually send a squad of 8 and infiltrate over 100% is quite rare. Okay, another mission. Get some resistance personnel. Only 3, but not bad. Favorable timer. Now, I have a choice to make here about whether or not, because we're sending 8 rookies out. Nobody's injured, but we have to make a choice here about whether or not we send a couple more rookies and save, a squad in case there's another mission we want to go on, or if we just send our top 6. And just say, okay, these rookies will get promoted another time. I can see some rookies, though, that wouldn't be bad to promote, so... I am going to bond you two, and roll that over. And we are going to put both of you on this mission. We need a stealth person anyway. And then we need a specialist, because there's going to be a hack. We will send tank if you've got. Although, might there be compatibility with a rookie here? No, not really. I guess tank is the guy. So we're leaving our terrible gunner and our assault off this mission, I think. I'm gonna send. We get Boss and Saris promoted. Alright. 7 hours in days 13 hours. So we have 8, 6, and then we have 6 more people in the barracks that I don't really want to send on a mission. So, kinda don't want their in missions for a week. Swapping a few med kits like we did the other time. For you especially, because you're going to mostly be staying back and shooting from distance. Yeah, you two can stay without med kits. Alright.
High Ranger deployed.
In position for deployment.
Okay. Not sure whether to leave them on intel to see if we scan for a,
Avenger
you know,
plotting new
another
course.
mission or not, or whether we just go and unlock the black market. But leave them on intel for a little while, I guess. At least get this done.
Market is open.
What do we got? Oh, we have a gunner. Might not be a bad idea to buy a gunner, since my own gunner has an embarrassing 60 aim. Anything you want. You're gonna pay me $40 for an Illyrium core. Done. I don't need those Illyrium cores for a while, but I'm not gonna sell you drone wrecks. I need those long term. It actually gives me, that's exactly the amount that I need to buy this gunner, so we're doing that. So that gives us a little more we can work with in the barracks. Alright, well, let's head back.
For West Asia.
Scan for a couple of days, see what resistance comms brings us.
The outcome of this research can only further our advances, Commander.
Definitely want
I will
weapon
make
mods.
that our highest priority.
Alright, I'm not actually sure the way that it works in the first cycle of the game, the first 21 days. I'm not sure if you can get more than 2 missions active in this first region or not. In any case, I'm going to assign these guys to supply. Sometimes I assign them to recruit to try to increase personnel, but we've got a mission that's going to do that for us. And I would like to have some actual income for this month. One of the mistakes I've made in the past is just not getting enough supplies in the early game to build facilities or buy the things that I need. So this is 6. It's also 6. Are those the only regions? Well, those are the only regions we can connect to. Let's go for New Arctic.
Setting course for the Arctic. Attempting to establish local
Oh well, I stand
regional
corrected.
contact.
You can get additional missions, but this has a 3-day timer, so that ain't happening. Can't get infiltrated that quickly. Our jailbreak mission's ready to roll. Alright, I'm going to cut this part here. We'll call this the end of part 1, like sort of Gatecrasher and the prelude to doing other missions. We'll do the jailbreak next time.